have those friendships and you connect, you want to be around them. So even though life gets in the way or you get busy and people are doing things, when you connect, it's like, hey, girl. Hey.
And it's always cool to have a connection like that with your sisters. Like,
and that's how I am with, like, when I see you, I feel like it's family.
It's family.
And that's family.
I just love a good group of women that can get together and have a good time. Ain't nobody bickering with each other. Ain't nobody jealous of each other. We just want to see each other win.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Donita Divine. Welcome to another episode of Wind Down Wednesday. Here we talk real talk. We have candid conversations and we connect with the community by keeping it real, for real. So today's episode is about friendship connections. I have two beautiful women here and then we're going to talk about how we met and the dynamics of friendship. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. So sit back, grab your glass, and let's get comfortable and let's dive in. So the young ladies here, I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and then we can talk about how we met. So since you're right to my left, go tell me who you are and what you do.
So Mischelle Luckett, I am an attorney here in the city of Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. And so you and I met, was it maybe about 10 years ago?
It's been a while.
It's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been knowing her probably a little shy, maybe 10 years or more. And so welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And
I am Sheila Gamble.
Your mic. I don't know why people don't want to have these mics in their face.
Sorry about that. Okay, I'm Sheila Gamble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pharmacist / real estate investor. And I've known Donita for as long as I've known Donita's cousin.
Absolutely.
So we go way back.
Way back.
We go way back.
That's what I was trying to think. I'm like, how long have I known Sheila?
Because I have known Lynette and them since we were 10.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yonda, Lynette, since we were 10. 9 or 10. So
that's crazy. Now, how did you, so we'll get into that. So you've known Lynette and Yonda. Mm-hmm. So my cousins are Lynette and Yonda. My beloved cousin passed away in 2021. So I do remember seeing your face when we were growing up. Uh-huh. But then it's like within the last, I'll say 15 years, I feel like I've really connected with you.
Right.
And so I did not realize that you've known them for so long.
Absolutely. Since we were 9, 10 years old.
Did you all live in the same neighborhood?
We lived in the same apartment complex.
Where?
Over in Circle Park, over there on Taylor.
Oh, you lived over there?
Absolutely.
I spent the night there once.
Yeah, I lived over there in Circle Park.
In University Village?
Yeah, University Village.
Yeah.
We grew up over there.
Oh, no. I did know they grew up over there. Okay, but I didn't know that's where you knew them from.
We lived adjacent from each other, like right across from each other.
Really?
And one thing about us, we never, Lynette went to high school, graduated, moved. We never not connected with each other.
Yes.
Over all the years, we stayed connected.
Yeah,
that's true friendship.
Right? That is true friendship.
We can go months without talking to each other, but baby, when we get together,
see, that is true like friendship.
We missed the beat.
See,
and I miss that girl.
I know, me too. Ooh, that was a hard one. Yeah. I even talked about it on my first podcast, my little Talking Head podcast, about how that devastated me.
Yes.
Listen, when I lost my cousin. Did you meet my cousin? I feel like,
oh man,
I feel like
you always have a good group of women
I have
around
a good
you.
Group of people.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
always.
But so tell me, like, I met you a few years ago because you are good friends with my husband's cousin.
Yes,
Tiffany.
Yes.
And we had a Bears event at our house, and Tiffany is more reserved, fun. She's like my travel buddy too. But when she came in the house, she was like a little firecracker. And I was like, okay, I like her. And sometimes some people don't know how to mingle with people that you just meet, you know, and she was way different than that. She was very open. She was like, well, like, hey, this is who I am. Take me or leave me.
And that's how it should be.
It
be
should
yourself.
be.
You should be able to be yourself.
And because of that, I think everybody that was in the house who was already my friends, they gravitated towards her, and they was just like, okay, I like her. She's a little live wire.
Mm-hmm.
So, and ever since, we don't talk often. We connect every so often. But lately, this last year, we've been like, I'll say last couple of years. We went to Dubai together.
Oh,
that's awesome. That's my little new travel buddy.
Yes. You need travel buddies.
Absolutely. So let me get into my questions.
Okay. And let me say something about friendship with that. Because when you meet people, sometimes you do have a genuine connection.
Yes.
And so you can go periods of time without seeing them or
that's the
connecting.
Yes.
And then when you connect, because like you said, we don't talk all the time, but when we connect, it's always like,
we picked up where
you
we
don't
left
skip a beat.
Yeah,
you don't skip a beat.
Exactly.
And you just have that connection because it was genuine in the beginning. Some connections, and sometimes you're around people, it's forced.
Yes.
And when it's forced, it just doesn't feel good. And you don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes you have to be around people forced through
like
work and through things and stuff like
business,
that. Like you have those friendships and you connect. You want to be around them. So even though life gets in the way or you get busy and people are doing things, when you connect, it's like, hey, girl. Hey.
And it's always cool to have a connection like that with the sisters. Like, it ain't nothing like having sisters.
And that's how I am with, like, when I see
like
you, I feel like it's family.
It's family. And as it should be.
Yeah, I'm like, that's my girl. Like,
as
that's
it
family.
Should be. I just love a good group of women that can get together and have a good time. Ain't nobody bickering with each other. Ain't nobody jealous of each other. We just want to see each other win.
Yes. You know what? I think over the last couple of years, I've had some personal letdowns in relationship, like friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me almost give up hope. Like, okay, what's wrong with me?
Mm-mm.
And so I think that was another reason why I wanted to talk about friendships, because I don't know, like I always say, because it's happened like maybe a couple of times and I'm like, okay, is it me? It can't be everybody. It might be me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think about it, it's not me.
Right. You came to that conclusion.
I came to that conclusion. It's not me.
Okay.
But I too want to see everybody win. I realize that like I was going to ask you, what are your expectations for a friendship? But for me, I don't seem like I have one. I seem like I take on other people's issues.
That's
and I think that's been my
your
issue.
downfall.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't have to take on other people's issues. Like with me, most of my girls, we all been in 30 plus years.
Yeah, wow.
So we've been in it for a minute.
Right.
But we in a situation where we know everybody has a different level or a different type of relationship.
Yeah.
Like we all good, but everybody is a different friend for a different reason.
For a different reason.
Level.
Yes.
It's just like everybody can't be the same type of friend to everybody.
Now, how many friends do you say you like, true friends?
See, you put me on the spot because some of them might be watching.
Well, you never say their names. You can just tell me who.
You know,
they might think they in that number.
You right. I would say like ride or die, like true friends. I probably have at least 5.
Oh, okay. That's
at
good.
least 5, which to me as a grown person,
that's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. I've had friends for over 20 some years, and like you say, we may not talk all the time, but if I call right now, like the house is on fire, like something come now, like emergency, they coming right now.
Yeah.
But when you say like expectations, you know, I know that all of them may not be able to put my fire out in the same way. So when I say my house is on fire, you never know what that means.
Right.
You know, I know some may not be able to physically be there, but they gonna send help.
Yeah.
Or whatever they need.
They can be there emotionally.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's really the expectation. I think with friendships, you don't know what someone could provide or what they could do in their own capacity. And I think when you say you fix people's problems or you're always taking on their problems, they may expect more of you than what you can give. And some of your friends can't give the help you need. But it's just about showing up for you in the capacity that they can.
Showing up. But
right.
I wouldn't.
How many friends do you have? Do you think?
I have a good 10.
Okay. 10 is a good
10 that I know for sure solid.
Right.
But I have a lot of friends. But you know, the ones that you really can, like she said, turn to or if you need something like that. Like I know a lot of people, but I don't fool with a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So that's a big difference too.
It is.
Like my circle is small. I know a lot of people, but my circle is still small because like I said, I know a lot of people, but I don't deal with a lot of people.
Right.
And for me, I don't do foolishness at all. My friends will tell you, like, I just don't do it. Like, I don't play. I'm my mother's child. Okay. And she did not do it. Like, even growing up with my mother, she only had maybe 2 or 3 good friends that me and my siblings could look at and say, those were her main chicks. Right. But we never saw her with, like, every time you turn around, she with
somebody different.
You know, I know. We didn't see that. So that's how I am. Like, I'm rocking with the same chicks that I know for sure we got each other.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I don't do all that. And for some reason, I got the spirit. You can ask my friends, baby. They will tell you. I have the spirit of discernment. If you walk in that door, I can sense.
Me too.
This one gonna be a no right here. Oh yeah, she cool. But that right there, and I call it every time. You can ask any one of my friends. They gonna tell you I'm the one gonna pick them out.
Well, I think we use the word friend loosely.
Yes. We do.
Because you will see me with some randoms or just around or just having a good time. That doesn't mean that I call them my friends.
Right.
But I do leave myself open. Because I think as adults, we don't usually make new friends. But if you think about, I think as adults in general, it's harder to make new friends, or we don't usually gravitate to new people because we're not in situations for that. When you think of like meeting people and really getting to like them, you have to be around them a while. So usually you get those relationships in school or your workplace and things like that.
That's cool. That's cool because like right at the age and the point I am in my life, I'm cool with meeting new people and being friends with them, but
being cool with them.
I'm cool. I'm cool with everybody. Until you ain't cool with me, I'm cool with you. Yeah. But I mean, it's just like you said, I'm cool with you. Yeah. But we probably ain't kicking it. Right. I just don't do that.
I'm not gonna trust you.
I can go out with you. I can meet you.
Well, I don't know if I'm trusting them to ride or die with my life. I like to put my life on.
I don't kick it with everybody. I just don't do it.
Yeah. And that was the question that I was gonna have because I'm like, how is it with making friends? Because when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you make friends at school, at work, on the train. I met so many people on Metro that I still that I consider my friend now. But those, and then I have people I grew up with. So those people that I grew up with, my Leahs, my Tishas, my Ronas, like those are people that bond would never be broken. We get on each other's nerves.
You have people that even coworkers that I would just go out and kick it with.
Yes.
But I'm gonna kick it with y'all, but then I gotta go. Yeah. And I mean, those are people that you can still be friends with people outside of your regular group. Yeah. And that's what I would say about them, like coworkers and stuff like that. I'm cool with them. We could go out and have a drink after work, have a good time. But they just my coworkers.
How do you deal with long distance relationships and friendships? I had a sister duo that I was really close with, and they moved to South Carolina, North Carolina, one of them Carolinas. I kind of see them on social media, but that's been like 20 years now. They've been gone for a long time. And I've kind of just watched their lives change and my life change.
When do y'all reach out to each other?
It's very different, And I think throughout that time, they had started getting other friends too, Yeah. So they probably still talk to the people that they were close to before they moved. But I was just like, wow. Like, I think about like the good times and how...
Well, you should reach out.
I know, I do, but I was just like, so certain things like that, I'm like, was I not a good friend to them,
But that's how me and Lynette was. Yeah. She was in Tennessee. But baby, it wasn't nothing for me to get on no flight or.
And that's the thing, I never visited. And so once I started going to Atlanta, once we had a business in Atlanta. So once I had my other good friend, Leah, lives in Atlanta. I had never visited her in Atlanta. And she would always say, come visit me. Once I got a business there, I started going. And I realized how easy it was. And I'm like, why was I not doing this? Yes. And I felt so bad that I hadn't been there to see her. Yes. And so then I started thinking, I reached out to my other friends, like, I'm coming because I realized that it wasn't a burden. I think for me, I always feel like I don't want to be a burden on anybody or whatever. But I really think of that relationship, like, because we had a great time when they was here. And, but it was like 4 of us, maybe 5. And it was a nice little close group. And it just got fractured. And I was just like, and nobody ever really had a conversation.
Yeah.
It just, it's very cordial now, which is so weird.
Well, maybe you should make the first move and reach out to them.
I do.
Friendships are like any other relationship. You got to work at them.
Yeah.
So if you see it slipping off the path and if it's worth it,
yeah,
you got to invest the time to make it work.
Yeah. One of them was in my wedding. And that's a crazy thing because I think about like the people that was in my wedding and I'm like, usually those are your closest people that and I'm like, do I still talk to these people?
Well, life changes too. People change. Yes.
People do change.
And sometimes, you share friendships because you're too different now.
That was y'all season.
So do you have friends that you felt like that was going to be your ride or die and you no longer talk to them now?
Yes.
You do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, even if we don't talk for a while, it's like once we do talk, we just pick up what we left out.
So you don't have...
I don't have anybody that I feel like we ain't gonna never talk no more. I don't think I have nobody like
that. I'm telling you, I just feel like this. I prayed on a lot of things because I'm like, God, I see what you're trying to do with me and for me. And I want you to use me. And I'm like, so remove anything that does not bring value to my life and to my journey. And then the things that was removed, like the relationships, I was like devastated. And I was like, well, was that God? Was that me? Like, what was it? And I try not to question it because whatever they are going through and whatever their walk is, maybe that wasn't for me to be a part of. But the way things happened, I was just like, oh, it was deep.
Wow.
But like I said, the people that I know for the longest have been my solid people. I do have a core group of old women, that I do consider my friends. And no matter what our attitudes, whatever, if it's that time of the month, whatever it is, we go our ups and our downs, we're there for each other. So
absolutely.
Now I have had relationships that were toxic. Have you ever been in a toxic friendship? You've never had a friendship.
I'm not doing it.
You said you're not with the crazy.
I'm not doing the crazy.
The foolishness. What would you say?
I'm not doing no foolishness.
Okay.
Well, how would you define a toxic friendship?
Where somebody their expectations of you are almost as like their man, or they're in a relationship that's toxic, and yet you still are there in the ups and the downs, and they keep going back to whatever when you see them spiraling out of control.
Now, I have been in the second description because, I mean, as a friend, you're watching what they're going through.
Yeah. And
it hasn't sullied my relationship with that friend. And sometimes you wish you could just grab them and shake them. But,
yeah,
it's kind of like, and not that your friends are your children, but just like with your children, you can't control other people.
Yes.
And you can tell them whatever you think is the best. But just like when other people give you advice, it's your life.
Right.
And so I have to respect my friends, and I have to respect their decisions, and they have to see their way, because who's to say that I'm right on what I think,
I've had friends that, yeah. And I'm sure I've been...
Toxic relationships?
Possibly. But I think that, like, I've been in relationships, where I've had some ups and downs, and I've probably leaned on some friends and probably did the total opposite of what I probably said I was going to do. So I get that part. But I've had some people in my life that weren't like my friends, but their expectations of me were more than I could deal with. And I'm learning that even at this old age, that you do have to cultivate your relationships.
You definitely
have to do that. I'm just trying to, you almost got to know their love language, just like you got to know your man's love language.
You almost do. And you have to set boundaries.
Yeah.
So if they're asking for too much of you and it is wearing on the friendship, and if it's a real friendship and not an associate.
Be like overbearing.
But some people don't recognize that they're being overbearing, especially if you're the type that just says yes. Because I am probably the yes person.
You are a yes
I try to support everyone, go to everything. So if I don't say no and if I don't set boundaries, I could wear myself out and the other person would never know that that's what's happening.
What happens is, for me,
I don't.
But Donita is probably wearing herself.
So what do? You just say no?
No, you know what? I have to set boundaries. Like, I'm gonna give you what you give me.
That part.
I'm definitely gonna give you what you give me. If I invite you to places that you don't never attend, don't expect me to attend your event.
And that's what I be doing, my 3-strike thing. I be like,
it's just like with meeting new friends. Like, for me, with women, it's always I gotta get a feel for you, because some women's like, I'm cool with everybody.
Yes, until I'm not. Yes.
I give you you got 2 strikes. Not 2. You got 2 strikes, baby. It's a wrap for me.
Okay.
Like, say for example, if I'd have met you in an event twice and I done spoke to you and I get the vibe like you ain't speaking back, after that second time I see you and you don't speak, it's no more.
But see, am I that girl though?
You may not be that girl, but who you talking about?
I'm very, like, my friends, when I was telling who would move, they be like, you be picking up strays. Oh, and like, I would pick up somebody, and then but it's for that day. It's a good time. But we not about to be besties.
I pick up strays all the time.
I pick up strays.
But listen, so the person that doesn't speak to you 2 times or whatever at an event, they're not your friends in the first place.
They're not my friends in the first place. But I'm just saying, like, if you run into the same group of people,
okay,
and a couple of times I done got a vibe from this chick that she ain't feeling me, like,
right, I'm not gonna speak to you. Absolutely.
And after that, don't worry about me no more.
Absolutely. But I think the deeper thing, and what you were getting at maybe, is the friend that has been your friend for years, but maybe something has happened where the relationship has shifted and they're asking for too much, or the boundaries need to be set now because of whatever. They're becoming toxic.
I think what happens with my friendships is almost like competition. If they see me doing something with a group of people, then this person is going to try to, I seen you do this with this person, so I need to raise the bar.
Now see, that's what I don't like.
I get a lot of competition with women.
Like, you can't have more friends
than them. Can't do more with them than I do with that person.
Which is insane to me, because we all have friends outside of each other. It may be on a different level, but I have friends outside of you. You know who my bestie.
Yes.
She have friends outside of me. Right. I have friends outside of her. I'm never upset with her if she go out and do something with her other friends. Right. Because I know you have other friends.
Absolutely.
And as women, we have to understand, we don't own each other. Everybody is a different type of friend to everybody.
They don't understand.
They do not understand that.
And that is the quickest way of losing my friendship, because I'm so polyamorous when it comes to friendships. When it comes to these friendships,
it's like, wow,
I spreads around, baby.
Yes,
I do. And I do pick up strays.
Everybody is serving a different purpose for each other. Like, everybody, we can have friends outside of each other. I'm not going to be mad like, oh, she over there kicking it with so-and-so.
Right.
Girl, go do your thing.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
And it's like,
that's what I don't understand with women, when they get upset because
Donita
is over there. Oh, Donita is having quiet time with so and so over there. It's like, Donita has friends outside of you, boo.
Yeah,
and everybody is serving a different purpose.
Yeah,
we all a different type of friend to each other. Like, in my group of friends, we know how to serve each other.
Yeah,
we know this one is needy. We know this one is a procrastinator.
Right.
We know how to deal with each other. And it's no bickering back and forth, because we know this one gonna be late all the time.
Right.
We know this one, she more than likely, she said she coming.
We know one that's gonna be cheap. We know one that's gonna be late.
About each other.
Absolutely.
But we don't get mad with each other because, she went and kicked it with her set of friends over there. It's like that's the mess that I can't.
And I think what I've been, like, the boundaries you were talking about, I have to set boundaries, because I don't go to every place. Like, I'm not that hood. Like, I like the hood, but you might not find me in the hood bars. Now, maybe I may crawl into one out, but it's not a place where I'm going to frequent.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so if I choose, and I'm not a club person, So I'm not going to be going to every event that you invite me to if it's a club. Or if I'm going to feel
But they should know this about you already if they're your friends.
Yeah.
They should know Donita ain't kicking it at the club. Donita ain't coming out. We ain't going to no clubs. Donita ain't doing that. So what is the problem here?
You should know, like, by a certain time, if you ain't got me outside and I'm asleep, I'm in the bed with a rag on my head. Watching with the remote control.
Exactly. So what's the problem?
But I think that boundaries, I feel like when I set boundaries is when I lose my friends. Or the people that consider.
If you have to set boundaries and you losing them, you have to set boundaries because people will take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Friendship has to feel you and your needs as well.
Absolutely.
It has to suit you too. And so if your friendship is taking you out of your comfort zone, and not saying one time, because everybody's had to do something they didn't want to do for, a friend.
Yes.
But if it is one of those things where you really can't meet this friendship's needs and still meet your own, then maybe those are the type of ways that friendships kind of, die down. When I say I've lost friends that I thought were ride or die, I haven't lost them necessarily, but maybe our friendship transformed.
Absolutely.
Because people, as you age, you change.
Yeah.
And sometimes your friends change and your needs and their needs, they're not always as equally aligned or they're in different stages than you were in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the crazy person that had a baby late in life after having a whole adult. Most of my friends, they don't have kids that they have to watch. Their kids are adults or late teens.
Right.
So when I'm getting invited out, I'm like, I ain't got no babysitter.
Right.
And they don't have those issues. Right. Now, keep inviting me. Right. And if that's going to be a problem, that's going to be a problem because I can't diss my baby for y'all.
Right.
My needs have to be filled.
Understand that.
And they do. But that's what I'm saying. If she's at a different stage where that's not her life anymore, maybe she clubbed it up in her 20s and 30s.
Absolutely.
But that ain't her life. If you can't accept me where I am and I got to still live the life that you're living,
baby,
then this friendship in this realm ain't working. We got to transform into something else.
So do you have expectations for your friendships?
Absolutely.
Okay. What are your expectations?
We are always there to support each other. No matter what we're doing, we always try to make sure we are there to support each other. And no matter what's going on, we try to be there for each other.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just an expectation.
Okay. So support.
Sometimes you definitely support.
Okay.
We try to be there for each other.
So what about you? Do you have?
I would say the same thing. Showing up for each other,
Absolutely.
I think makes you a friend.
Just showing up.
So I have parties that maybe, some of my friends will never make it to a party.
Okay.
But if I need you, and that need can be different, but needs, then that's when friendship really is tested.
Absolutely.
And
that's
your hard times, not the fun times, when we have hard times, because I can have fun with my strays I pick up, like you said. I'm a fun girl. I'm gonna walk into a party with no one and enjoy myself. Yes, exactly. And it's so funny because me and Donita, we went on that Dubai trip, and I've met a friend on the Dubai trip. I'm very open.
Yeah,
I am very open.
I'm open to definitely.
And maybe, and I'm using the word friend lightly because she's not gonna probably ride or die for me or anything. But I really enjoy her. And we enjoy her.
Go out and have a good time with people out there. But
yes,
because you know what? At some point, I think as we do get older, and you are now in your new season of life, you may go out you may outgrow the friends that you have known for so many years. And then you go somewhere and you realize, oh my God, we have so much in common. We just meet, we just get each other.
Right.
And that might be your new seasoned friend for that new season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think with friendships, I think as adults or when we get to a certain age, when I say it's harder for us to make friends, God forbid we lose our mates.
Right.
We'll get out there and find another one.
Yeah.
We open to finding another one. We're not going to be single for long, right? But for some reason, we're not as open to find new friendships sometimes once we get to a certain age.
Women can be difficult sometimes.
They can be, and then you don't make friends with them.
Give me an example.
Go ahead.
No, I'll say give me an example.
Okay, here's an example. So, me and one of my BFFs.
Okay.
She come along and she a friend of hers, she brought it to the group.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of crazy how me and her met. But I just like, it's something about this chick. I just ain't. But she was like, no, she cool. Now this my girl. Okay. I'm rolling with you. Because if you say she cool, I'm rolling with you.
Right, on the strength of your word.
On the strength of your word. Because I know me and you like that.
Right.
She said she was cool. I told her, I was like, I don't know. It's just something about her just ain't working for me. No, she cool. She cool. I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm let her in. She come on in. You know, I was welcome her to my home and everything. Now, mind you, it's my group. There's about 10 of us, and that's solid in that group. Mm-hmm. So it was a couple of things that went on. So we ended up having going to one of our other friends' house or whatever. I don't even know how she ended up coming. I think I had something at my house. And so one of my other girlfriends invited us to her mother's house. She ended up coming. Any long story short, we like I said, we all know each other. We know who is the procrastinator, this, that, and the third. So we at my other girlfriend's house, and we having fun. Long story short, she goes back, the outside friend. She goes back and she calls one of our friends in the group to report back some shit that happened. Some stuff that we were laughing and joking about.
But it was about that person?
It was about that person.
Okay.
But we were laughing and joking because we know how she is.
Right. And because that's my real friend. That's my real friend. Like, yeah.
And she's our real friend. That's why she came.
And she know this joke already because we've talked about
it. Exactly.
Yes.
But my whole thing was, you don't know any of us well enough to know the level of friendship that nobody in this group have.
Right.
For you to come in and think you're going to call this one and don't think she's going to come back.
Because she reported back.
Oh,
child. Y'all kick out the group.
Baby back. I don't play like that. I do not play like that. Like, that's one thing I don't play about is my friendships.
Yeah.
So I can't fool with you. I don't care what your explanation is.
She was trying to do a divide and conquer.
Exactly. And that was my whole thing. Like, don't come here trying to mess up this, because we all know how far to go with each other.
Yeah.
And so I washed my hands of it. So my friend was like, oh, she didn't mean it. Okay, she didn't mean it, but I'm washing my hands because you already showed me your hand.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this question. The girl she reported back to, is that the girl who brought her into the group?
No, it was another girl.
Oh, yeah.
And so she wasn't even cool like that.
The point is, you don't know any of us well enough to report anything back to anybody about nothing. Like,
you on probation.
Girl, you better chill. You ain't on probation. You was out. I don't play like that. Like, I don't like messy. Like,
because
that's just a sign of you coming in, causing problems in this group that we don't have problems in.
Yeah.
And so my girlfriend was like, I'm gonna pray for you because you just don't be wanting to give in. You just shit.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and maybe I'm gonna play devil's advocate for the girl. Maybe,
honey,
she may have thought that you guys were talking behind the girl's back, and she may have thought she was being a good friend to her to have said it. She may have been uncomfortable when it was happening.
But
if you bring me and I'm, say, with Julie and your cousin or whatever, and they are joking about you, I'm gonna be like super uncomfortable in a room.
Right.
But you're the reason I'm friends with them.
If you come back and tell me, that's different. But you want to tell somebody. If I'm talking about somebody, I brought you in.
Now that's different. Now that's different.
I'm talking about, because that's me and you.
Yeah.
Yes. Like if you was talking about the girl that brought her in, then that makes sense.
And that's
but it was something totally different.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because then I'm giving you the side eye. Like, I brought you in this world.
My whole thing is, now there's nothing that I can say in front of you that I'm going to be comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because, girl, first of all, we ain't even friends like that.
Right.
So, for me to be done with you, it means absolutely nothing to me.
So, how many times was she in your circle?
Oh, no times after that.
That may be
before that. I mean, she was coming. She was kicking it with us, like coming over to my house and doing everything.
Oh, she was at your house.
She was at my house.
But she really wasn't your friend.
I mean,
she was somebody else's friend. That just
well, she came in as my friend, my BFF friend.
Yeah.
And then, I'm like, I just.
Was it because you and your BFF is like this though, and you was like, you just felt her spirit wasn't right?
No, it It wasn't even that. It's just like, I can just tell.
Okay. Because that was my thing too. I've met a lot of females through other women. Like, my friend will bring somebody like her, and I just vibe with that person.
Yeah,
and then I'm like probably talking to that person more than I talk to my.
Absolutely, and we have friends like that. Like another one of my friends, she brought one of her coworkers in. We love her.
Yeah,
she is amazing. Yes. Like, we love her because she cool as heck.
Yes, and I think sometimes the people that brought that friend in may think, oh, you stole my friend. Like, no,
we don't even be on that
at all. And I think people be thinking I'm stealing friends, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's just sometimes when you jail with women, you just jail with them.
Because it's not common. I'm going to say this. Like, we talk about it. I do pick up strays. But because I am the type of person, when I'm out, I'm having fun and it's there. I don't pass judgment. My radar is kind of like, okay, mediocre. But then when if you're going to try to be in my friend group, then all the guards and everything, the bells, the whistles is up. If you come into my house, that's different. Us meeting at a club or hanging out is one thing. But if you really trying to be in my space where I lay my head,
girl,
that's way different. Because
when I welcome you into my home, it's good. Serious. You good. Because I don't have everybody in my house. But when I welcome you into my home, that's a sign that we good.
And she just messed it up.
Messed it all up.
So have you had an experience where you have invited a friend to your friend group? Because I'm thinking, like, for your friend, she brought a friend, and I guess that wouldn't work for her either. If you meet a friend through somebody, and then that person who brought that person no longer talks to that person, but you still cool with them, how does that work? How does that dynamic work?
I don't know why they fell out.
Right.
But I'm not going, this is like, my friend's still friends with her, the girl.
Right.
But I don't get mad with her because I can't tell you who to be friends with.
But she was already friends with her.
She was already friends with her. But because she know what she did, I don't expect her to not still be her friend.
What about the girl she told the messy stuff to? Is she friends with her now?
No, she's not friends with her.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, my friend's still friends with her because that's y'all thing. I don't get off on telling. I don't be telling nobody who they can be friends with.
Right.
I know who I'm not gonna be friends with. Right. I know who I'm not gonna deal with.
I've had friends where they have brought somebody to the friend group and we vibed. They may not talk to that person anymore, but we still cool.
And that's okay.
And I have the same situation on my side. I don't talk to the person anymore, but they still friends with my friends. And I'll be like, but you know them through me. And so it's hard because I am experiencing that on my side.
Oh.
And then, but you know, when it's happening to me, I understand it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, y'all don't even know each other if it weren't for me.
See, that's one thing about me. My girlfriends always say, girl, since you turned 50, you just been something else. I don't think it's been since I turned 50, but
it's 40. 40 was the cutoff period. That was when I had my revelation moment. So it may have been 40.
She always say, girl, you turned 50 and you something else. No, I just don't have time for that.
Zero time.
Zero time for the craziness.
And the days and the hours are going so fast. I don't remember the time going this fast.
But the time is moving. I don't have time for the foolishness.
Absolutely. I agree.
Mm-mm.
Now, have you ever experienced the thing where you were friends with somebody but they no longer talk to the person?
I don't have that situation.
Okay.
And you know, most of my friendships, even if they transform into something else, they don't usually end bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
So I usually have good relationships.
I'm going to say, me too. Like I said, when COVID hit, I've noticed a lot of things that happened in my relationships, and I was surprised by them. And then I was like, well, maybe I'm not upholding their expectations of me. And I think now I'm going to have people fill out an application. Like, what do you need for a friend? Because I'm not going to be
And friendship should not be hard. It shouldn't be that hard.
Say it again in the mic.
It should not be that hard.
But the thing is, the people that I think the reason why I was the most hurt was because the people that I stopped talking to were the people that I really poured into.
But when you say you stopped talking to them, like what happened to make you stop talking to them, or y'all stop talking to each other?
Each other.
Okay.
But it was because of some negative comments or experiences they had with me that I'm not aware of. Okay. And so I'm just being Donita. That's who I am. This is how God made me. It was cool when this tongue hit somebody else. Maybe the words hit them in a way that they were only used to seeing going in another direction. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But I realized that seasons and all of that, and I'm fine with it. But I think I was like, okay, well, let me do some self-reflection. What is it? And then I realized that I'm not changing for anybody. That's what I realized. At the end of the day, I am who I am. Absolutely. I'm going to love you the way that I love you. I'm going to give you whatever I got, what I can give as a friend. I'm not going to kill myself because I'm trying to survive my dang on self.
I know that's right.
And I am 52 years old.
Friendship shouldn't be that hard.
Girl, it hadn't been, but when I hit 50, all hell broke loose.
Well, let me ask you about that friendship. So you said
it was like 3 people.
You think this is what happened, but did you go to that person, or did that person come to you and say, this is what happened? Or you're just assuming this is why we not cool no more?
No, if you cut off communication with me, then I hate to use these words, you're dead to me.
What is cut off communication? Like you blocked? Or
somebody blocked me.
Oh, you're blocked.
I think 2 people blocked me.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has ever blocked me. That's experience.
Been blocked, Donita.
And I was like, I got blocked. They blocked my husband. What? So when you block you can do whatever to me, but when you go to my family, then those are like fighting words.
Yeah.
So if we never had any words, if you leave here today and block me, because basically that's kind of what. And it's like no communication, no nothing.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, what did I do?
Right. What happened here?
And maybe the expectation was different. Maybe I missed something that I should have picked up on.
Is this someone that you would consider a great friend?
Okay, so one person I did consider a really good friend.
What's going on?
I'm not.
Yeah. You know what? I think people have misunderstandings sometimes. I'll give you an example of my own situation. And I'm not even saying this was like, I'm not saying this one of my like ride or die people, but someone that, I had a relationship with for over a few years and we shared some moments or whatever. But I realized, it was a realization that came to me that this friendship was one-sided, or whatever we had was kind of, it wasn't equal. It wasn't running both ways.
Absolutely.
So as a professional, you could take all my free professional help.
Right.
But the one time I come to you for something, you don't want to do it. Oh, I get paid for this. Well, can you start paying me for the shit that I'm doing for you for free? But even after that, you still on my line. Every time you on my line, you need something. But all I did was stop communicating. And I should have, and in hindsight, and not even for our friendship, but for the next friendship you have,
right,
gave you that talk. And sometimes that would think about it
if somebody had that talk
now, because I know she feels the cold shoulder. But for me, and maybe the way of how I am kind of like you. It ain't that you dead to me, but I have realized I put people where they need to be at, where you show me to be at.
Me too.
So when I first meet you, you all the way up here.
You up here until you show me otherwise.
I take everyone like a good person or whatever. And I'm usually up here with you because,
and I think that's what happens in that relationship. That person was up here. But what people, if you're my friend, and this is the problem, the fallout that I have with a lot of people, I'm going to be there. They're so used to me being there for them. But I have my mom that's 72 years old. I have a husband, a daughter, a son, and I got a life.
When you say that they're used to you being there for them? Like, what do you
Nah, I don't give nobody no money.
Well,
let me repeat that. Like, I don't loan out money.
We don't do money over here.
I don't do money. If you ask me for some money, it ain't happening.
That's going to end our friendship immediately.
I'm going to block you.
That's a termination of friendship clause.
You just don't have money to loan out because that is the biggest way to lose your friendship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't loan anything you can't afford to give.
Absolutely.
You just got to give them that money because you may never see it again.
Exactly. Whenever you are down, I'm thinking of 20 things to get you back up.
Right.
I'm that girl, like, how can we fix this?
So I think sometimes when we make these friendships, and especially when our kids become friends with the other kids, we have to really consider everyone that's in these situations.
I'm just not making no new friends. That's it. These were like new. I'm just stay with the old rag. I love y'all. The old school folks that I know that get on my nerve and I get on theirs.
Well, I'm glad I slid in here before you had to cut off of not making no more new friends. And I'll try to not bring any bad friends into the friend group.
My friends are thebomb.com. So if we end up cool. If not, hey.
So you don't have jealousy in your friendship?
No, we don't do that. We're not anybody jealous of each other.
I need to know who your friends are. Can they get a new friend?
Yes, girl, we come on. Because we just don't do that. We just never do
I just said I don't want no new friends. And I'm like, can I come over there?
We just don't do that. Nobody's jealous of each other.
And and that's the thing. I'm a girl's girl. So I'm like, what do you got going on? You got a business? How can I market it for you? Right. How can I advertise it? How can I help you? You got this going on.
We'll talk after this.
Yes. I'm always trying to find out how I can make you better. I never get that same thing back. When I say never, one person, and I hate to say this, because I don't want to shoot anybody else down who has been supportive, but one person that stands out, and that's Kimberly Davis. She is also a girl's girl. She is the person that she supports everybody. She knows everything about everybody's life. And when she talks about you, you be like, that's me. Like she's and I'm like, yes. And I'm like, so I love how she gives in her friendship. Mm-hmm. I'm not that girl. And I think with her, she probably wants that same thing. So I try to give her as much. I think I'm lazy in my friendships. And that could be my issue.
I don't know if you're lazy, if you're saying that you're assessing your friends and their needs and trying to fill them. That don't sound lazy to me. That sounds like you're working real hard over here.
I think it's what's comfortable for me. Their expectations might be something different.
Well, why do you think they have these expectations of you, Donita?
I think that's how I show up.
Well, see,
I think I show up with like if I got a party friend, they may have met me at a party. I don't know. I'm just thinking. But it's easier to do what's easy for me. Like I do graphic design, I do websites, I do all the IT stuff. So that's easy for me. I do wine tastings, I do brunch, I do travel. So if it's in that realm, I got you.
Right.
But if it's something outside of what I'm typically comfortable with, I'm probably not going to be able to do that.
But I mean, as a friend, they should be okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think in friendships, you shouldn't be looking for your friends to fill needs that you should be paying for anyway.
Ooh.
If your friends are able to fill those needs and willing to fill those needs, then great.
Absolutely.
But if they're not, then go hire someone because you would anyway. And you want that friendship to be light for both sides. You don't want that pressure. I oftentimes don't want to do too much for friends because friends are the ones to take advantage. Paying clients don't because they know they got to pay for it.
I know.
So you don't want to have to do too much of those things.
Yeah.
The part that can be difficult, especially if you have a bunch of friends, is just doing the friend stuff. You know, and sometimes you got to throw money on it if you can't do the friend stuff. I remember I did a renovation when I was super broke. Right. This is years ago, maybe a long time, 14, 15 years ago. And I remember my good friend at that time. She's like, girl, I don't swing no hammers. I don't do nothing. But I will go get one of those Oh, edit that. That sounds so racist. Please edit that part.
Well, she said
a day labor. She was like, I will go get a day laborer for you. And that will be, because I had this whole, we going to have this party. I'm going to invite all my friends. I'm going to buy y'all pizza. We going to have drinks. Yeah, we going to get it cracking. Right. And that was the day when we were doing stuff like that. No one could afford to pay anyone. We going to do this DIY project. Same. She like, girl, I got a day laborer for you. And I appreciate that because she was like, look, but I would never have asked her to throw money at it. Right. But this was like, where you at? Right. You have paint parties. And I remember when we moved back in the day, man, everybody brought their truck or their cousin truck or their uncle truck and they helped move.
I miss those friendships.
We weren't hiring people to move
we all
us.
So busy now and everybody's so, I don't know. I don't know.
But for me, that was her showing up for me where she could in the capacity
that was
she
her,
could.
That was her love language.
It was her love language. Like, I'm gonna throw some money at this.
Absolutely.
I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna be here sleeping.
Right. She like, I don't do that, but I got you. And I was like, okay, thank you, because he was gonna work harder than both of us together anyway. He bring them, and she did. She did. I think that's the thing with friendship. It's about showing up. It's really not something that should cost you money. Exactly. You don't really have to match someone else's energy. One of my friends, her gifts always be so crazy for like birthday parties. I'm like, oh my God, please stop buying my kid all this stuff.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how to give it back. It's so thoughtful.
But see, that's
so this,
what the
it's so
person
that.
I said block me. I think it's the matching energy. They do. They go above and beyond. And if you don't do that, they feel slighted. And I don't know if it's a way to get you to, this is like, they grooming you to know they're alone, they love. This is what I expect because I'm doing all this for you. I expect this in return. And when you don't do it.
It's crazy because everybody is not the same.
Yeah.
You can be a giver like that.
Yes.
If I'm not a giver, I'm going to support. I'm going to be there for you.
Right. And so that's the thing. I just want it to be like, because that's my love language. If I'm doing this, I don't expect you to do it back to me.
Exactly.
I just expect you to just be there. If I pick up the phone and be like, girl, let's go for a drink. Girl, I'm coming over or whatever. But for whatever reason, it just changed for that person. And I'm fine with it. I think that those relationships were the ones that I was very surprised because there was no communication. And I was like, well, I'm like, okay, these are my ride, I'm thinking they my ride or dies. And then I realized that, okay, if you can cut me off or you feel a type of way, then you've always felt that way. So then I get in my head, now I'm like, you ain't gotta ever come back to me.
That's
and sometimes people are dealing with their own personal things.
This is true.
And they don't know how to express themselves. And it's easier to outwardly project on someone else than to look inward. Yeah. So when you say maybe it's me because maybe it's not. But maybe looking at you makes them look inside and they don't see what they want. And being around you may make it hard to look in the mirror.
Jobs. I understand that.
Because let me tell you, we just had one of our friends in the group. She was mad with two of us in the group, and we didn't even know she was mad at us.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's
we didn't even know that she was mad at us because you get so busy. And then we have, in our group, we have the ones that we like to travel. We like to go.
Yes.
So we know the ones that don't, or the ones who always
the ones that are local. That's what I call them.
Or the ones.
The locals.
The ones that we know will go. We know will go. So if we know you one of the ones that
are local,
typically when we say, hey, we about to do this, because we all in the group message, hey, you don't respond to those group messages?
I am. I'm bad at group messages.
If you don't respond, we're going to say, we stop. We're not going to keep following up with y'all. We told y'all this. We're not going to keep running behind y'all like y'all kids. Y'all in the group. Read it.
Yeah.
So I got to the point, I said, okay, I'm not going to keep calling them because they see just what we see. So I'm not going to keep calling them saying, hey, did you see the group text? Are you going? So we made a pact. Okay, once we put it out there, it's there. We're not going to keep running up behind each other like checking to see, are you going?
Don't add me to the group messages. I'm horrible at group messages.
You one of those too.
I am.
So we have one that's horrible at. They see the text. We know you see it, but you don't respond to it. Even if you're not gonna go, just hey, I ain't gonna make.
They thinking about it.
Just say you're not gonna make it.
They thinking. They're like, oh, let me check these dates. Let me check because they are.
You had plenty of time to check these dates,
but then they forgot because life was life.
I get that. But y'all know this is how we do it. When we send these messages out, if you see it, just a quick, let me get back to you. Just say something. Because I think it's rude when you don't respond back to text messages. So she was mad at two of us because we went ahead and made plans and we didn't include her. But you didn't respond to the message.
I'm with you 120%.
I personally feel like it's a quick, hey, let me get back to you. It's a 2 seconds in your day to respond to
just
that
to
message.
say, let me look at it. Let me look at the date.
Because you already know you're not going. If you already know
they not going.
Just say, I'm about to sit this one out. So she was mad with us, and we didn't know she was mad. So
maybe she really wanted to go and she didn't want to set it out. Maybe she really wanted to go and didn't want to set it out.
Well, just say that. And so I had a brunch at my house, right? And she came.
I wasn't invited to the brunch. Okay, let the record show.
You won't miss no more brunches.
Okay, thank you.
So I had a brunch, and of course she was invited, and she came. And my girlfriend, when we all get together, we go hug. Act like we ain't seen each other forever.
Right.
So one of my girlfriends went to hug her and she went, she held off on the hug. She went, we'll talk.
Oh, she did. No, she did.
Yeah, she did.
In your house?
In my house.
I told her,
she told my girl, she's like, she walked up to her, my girl went to like hug her like we always do, and she went, hold on, we'll talk later. And so it's like,
but that's a friend.
But we sat down,
when you friends, you can be funny acting.
When she told us that she was mad, we was sitting there like, girl, we had no idea that you was mad with us because we sent them. Y'all gotta start responding to these messages. She was so mad with us because
she was mad that you all left. I mean, went without.
Yeah, because I feel like, girl, look, honey.
Has she ever been on anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they see the text messages and won't respond. We have those that just.
I am that
and won't respond.
I am that girl.
I'm personally not gonna keep chasing up behind you.
But I do ask that I have one friend in that text message. Send me a nudge because y'all know.
Yeah,
I'm bad.
Yeah, they bad with responding. And
let the record reflect. I always need a reminder.
Yes.
Or if I say I'm going, but I'm gonna be the last one to book my flight, maybe because life be life.
But she was mad, but we hashed it out and we laughed about it because that's how we are. Like we had no idea that she was mad with us, girl.
She was sipping poison and she was thinking y'all was gonna be
so crazy. It was so crazy because I think we were having we was having something and she said her husband asked her what she wants. She's like, no, hell no, I'm not going or something like that. But it was just like so funny. Like, girl, we didn't even know you could get mad like that. But we hashed it out as friends after she finally told us that she was mad with us because we was laughing so hard because it was like, girl, we had no idea you was mad with us.
So you have a group text with 10 people on it?
Yeah, at least like 10.
I love that. Okay. And this is a text and not a messenger.
This is a group text.
Okay.
But we always send it, everything that we do, we send it out to the group.
Okay.
But we have those that are slow about responding.
Okay.
And so I said, I'm not going to keep running up behind y'all like y'all children.
Right.
To remind y'all. Y'all see the text like I see the text.
Right.
So I'm not going to keep running up, keep sending out reminders or keep telling y'all, we'll send out a reminder, but I'm not going to keep, like, it's like, come on, y'all. Y'all see
now, a text is different. I am on like a gazillion group messengers on Facebook Messenger. Mm-hmm. I don't even look at them no more.
No, it's not that messenger. It's an actual group text.
Yeah, and then I have to look at it to get that notification thing off my phone. So I have to look at it. Now, I may thumbs up it, but I may not read it. I do. And that, like, we had a group of 4 for years because I do IT. I didn't have the luxury of sitting down texting all day. I was in the field. And so by the time I go to the messages, they done call me every name. Like, she knows she ain't reading no text message. And I have to then just kind of, and I'll get to it. I was like, let me scroll up and see what y'all talking about. Because I'm busy. Like, a lot of people, if you have a desk job, then you have time to look at your phone. But I'm out. My phone is in my fanny pack or whatever. So I just didn't have time to look at it. And I think that set my precedence on how I dealt with group text. Because then I'm like, I love being included, but don't get mad if I don't respond. I'll get to it. I may ask for a summary of what y'all talking about.
We don't get mad. If you don't respond, we don't get mad.
Yeah, but I'm like, don't
be mad because we ain't gonna keep hounding you about it either.
And so I'm in another group. I miss so much stuff with them, and I'll be felt so mad because then I see like send money, and then everybody that sends money, next thing you know, they're like, okay, it's closed, and I'm like, where they going? Then I start scrolling. I'm like, dang, it's tomorrow, and I done missed everything. And I think they do take it as a slight, like I don't want to be there, and it's not that. It's just I'm trying to run so many different things,
right?
That's just one of the things that falls through the cracks.
And there's nothing to be mad about because I don't get mad. I don't be mad because
you about to be kicking it.
But don't get mad because I'm not gonna keep hounding you because I know that you saw this text, and it's only gonna take just say, hey, let me get back with you. Hey, just say something. Just say I read it. Let me get back. You may have to go and check and see if the funds right before you can do some things. Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do it and be like, oh dang, the funds ain't right. So I know that you mentioned that you have a solid group of friends, and so do you, and you haven't had any fallouts. I guess I'm the only one. I'm gonna take that. So tell me, when can you provide a story or an example when those people have showed up for you during a hard time, or was your rock during a difficult moment?
I mean, when I had COVID, baby, they was on it.
You had COVID? I had COVID. Didn't nobody give a damn. Girl. Were you sick? Sick? You was sick? No,
I was sick. Like when COVID first came out, I had COVID. Got COVID.
Me too. Wait. In March, when it first came out?
Yeah, I had it in March.
Oh, in 2020?
2020. It was 2020. Yeah, March 2020.
That's when it first came out.
Yeah, March of 2020.
So, and they ain't know it was COVID then. So, maybe you didn't.
Right, that's when everybody was like, oh, Lord.
It's a respiratory, you gonna die. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, you were really sick?
Yes, I was sick.
Really?
Oh, girl, the worst. Oh, my God. But I didn't have the coughing and all of that. I had a horrible, horrible back pain.
You had back pain?
It was horrible.
And so they showed up for you. What they do?
Dropping food off on the porch.
Because they couldn't come in and all that.
They couldn't come in. But my kids were still at home. I couldn't send them nowhere. So I just stayed in my room.
Did they get COVID?
They did not get COVID.
Oh, wow.
I just stayed in my room. They just pushed my food up to the door like, look, you know how they do with the little movie.
So the group, was there anybody in particular that you can say has been your rock? If it wasn't for them, that you understand what true friendship is because of
I mean, me and Chris gonna ride. We ride.
I love y'all.
Me and Chris ride or die. It ain't.
Now, how long have y'all been friends?
Me and Chris been friends for 34 years.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? We met at the job.
Oh, see,
that's
them job coworkers.
We met at the job.
I mean, friendships.
We always compliment each other. Like, oh, you look so nice. You look so nice. And that's how me and her. And then she was a party animal, and I used to partying. So we started going out, kicking it, and we just been.
I like her. She's a sweetheart.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. 30 years.
34.
34 years. And where'd you all work?
Rush. We still at Rush.
Y'all work at work? Yes. I used to work at UIC right down the street.
Yeah, we still at Rush.
Really?
Yes.
That is so crazy.
She's still at Rush. I'm still at Rush.
Okay. In case I need to go back to work, I may have to holler.
Right. Come on.
So tell me, do you have any moments where you can remember where somebody really stepped up to the plate and showed you what true friendship really was?
I think I've had some moments.
Okay.
I don't know if they're super bad. I think everyone's moments are super bad to them. But when you talk about them, they girl, that's just life.
Right.
But I think the important thing is when you think your life is super bad.
Show up for you.
Yeah, and they show up for you. I swear I don't even need to pay for therapy because
I love that.
Friendships sometimes provide that where you could just show up for each other, have that talk, or be there when you need it. And even in encouraging moments, because it's not always bad moments. I think how you said your friend talked such life into you and said so many things, you're like, is that me? Sometimes when you're thinking about making big moves in your life and big decisions, it's those friends that can go through everything. I'll talk about Tiffany, because Tiffany is how we met.
Yes.
And I don't get to hang with Tiffany like I want to hang with her. But anytime I need her and anytime she needs me, I'm going to show up and she shows up for me. And I remember last year I was trying to make big moves and I called Tiffany and it was one day I had something to get done in like 24 hours. And I needed someone who could really look over what I was submitting and really give me some good feedback. And Tiffany wake up so early. So I'm like up all night trying to get this done. It's like last minute, but I found out about this opportunity last minute. I had like 24 hours. I called her. It was like 5 a.m. She answered. She up. Like she just up. I usually would be sleep then, but I probably been up.
So calm.
She is. She's so awesome. And I talked to her about it. I sent her what I had. She was, spitting it back out at me, talking about me. I was like, oh, is that me?
Yeah.
Let me write this down.
Yeah.
But I mean, exactly. Yes. So, I mean, I had to do like a little speech and everything. From sitting there on that phone, timing me, letting me talk my speech and doing this. I mean, it really made a difference. Yeah. To me, it really made a difference because where we were at after, she just read back my life because she's watched it in a manner that I don't even look at myself. Yes. She's like, okay, everybody can look at your resume. What about this? What about that? Yes. You did this. I was like, girl, I didn't I? But that's because even though we don't see each other every day, she's been around me.
And she's watching. She knows what you're doing. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. And at the last minute, I don't know what was going on with her that morning. And if she would have been like, girl, I'm going through my own thing, I would have understood. But she didn't. She didn't. She was like, let me help my friend get it together. And that is something about showing up. It doesn't even have to be in tragedy. It could be when you're trying to make boss moves. Because sometimes that would be even better.
Yeah, I've had some, like my friend Tasha, she would be like, I see what you're doing. Keep doing this. You inspirational. And she says some really great stuff. And I'm like, thanks, sis. I didn't expect it. So those type of friends, that is huge.
Yeah, it is. I like to surround myself.
Don't you, girl? Don't let nobody tell you nothing different.
I'll be trying. But that's the thing.
You wear many hats.
I do wear many hats because you know what? For me, I'm always a student. I always want to learn something.
Absolutely.
And so this podcast thing, I got my degree in communications and I thought that I was going to be practicing public speaking. It was the science of communication. So it was all the things in the back end, critical thinking and all of those things, crisis management. It wasn't really about public speaking, but it was the science behind it and how you communicate, what you use to communicate with people.
Right.
But it's always been a thing of mine because I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. I'm a little vain, just a little bit. Now. But I was like, okay, how do I show up? And so when we did the Drop It with Drew, they had the Atlanta Housewives cameras and everything. Right. And they had the cameras there. I was bubbling up. I could not get the words out. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so, and everybody was like shocked. Like as much as you just so free flowing.
Right.
I'm like, but when that camera come on, for whatever reason, I froze. And I was like, I didn't want to do that again.
Right.
Because if my opportunity comes,
you want to be ready.
I want to be ready.
You want to be ready.
I don't care how old I am. I don't care if I'm 75.
I know that's right.
Tyler Perry say, come here, girl. You're going to be the new Cicely Tyson.
But you're going to be ready.
I want to be ready.
But you're going to be ready.
And so, and I'm like, okay. So because of that, that's when I really started doing this particular thing. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of self-reflection. Because I was thinking that because I wear these hats, that the people that I associate with have to also wear those hats. Mm-hmm. And because when those other relationships started falling apart, I was like, well, maybe because they're not going where I need to go. And so I really was like, well, maybe I need to hang around these type of people. But no, I need the people that have been pouring into me. I've been pouring into them, because when the lights and the cameras are off, absolutely, I need that.
Yeah.
I need to talk about your girls. You talk about the girls in your real life. I need to talk about your shoes, whatever it is. And you can't get that just on some superficial relationship.
Yeah. You still need your genuine friendships.
Absolutely.
But you can make friends with the new people too. Well, you know what? While I'm sitting here listening to you,
friends with the new people.
I think this song came in my head. Right, I was a Girl Scout, right?
Oh my God!
And I have not been a Girl Scout in many, many years. But it used to be a song that was like, you can make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. Did y'all Girl Scouts? Were y'all Girl Scouts? Do y'all remember that?
I like that.
I love that.
You got your gold medal girls. They've been there forever. But, sometimes you will make friends and they will be.
I'm going to do a brunch and I'm going to give silver and gold. I'm doing
it. The silver going to be mad at you. The silver going to be mad at you.
I'm like, if you were this many years and younger, you getting the silver.
And then maybe you can even have some bars.
You don't want to be giving out the gold. And they're like, oh, I thought I was a gold all this
time. No, you're not Simone.
I think just like the fact that you have these multiple jobs and they all aren't old jobs. You're taking on new jobs now, or new adventures. We're not even going to call them jobs, because jobs sound like you don't want to do them. And right now you're at a season when everything you're doing, you are planning and you want to do it. You're not forced to do it. You're doing it. You showing up because you want to be.
I'm proud of me.
Yes.
They're going to cheer you on.
I was hoping that. And I, like I said, my core people that I still talk to this day, they cheer me on. They have been here. They have been supportive. If they're not here, they're at my house or whatever. So, and I realized I've been hanging with a lot of family too, because of people just show up differently. Do you get involved with your kids' relationships and their friendships?
I did, but my oldest daughter, she had a great set of friends. I love them all.
Okay.
My youngest daughter, she had a group of friends that just one little girl just drove me nuts, because they will all get along just fine until she enters the group. And I would tell her, leave that girl alone.
Yes.
We see things you don't see.
Yes.
Every time y'all together, everybody is having a good time. The minute she with y'all, the other 4 of y'all is just back and forth bickering. Leave that little girl alone, because she drove me crazy every time I see her. I would just get mad. And I said, I done told you. Y'all think we don't know what we talking about. Yes. But we see things that y'all don't see.
Yes.
And I just prayed, Lord, remove this child from my daughters. Please. I was so glad when she graduated high school. Because them 4 years right there with that little girl, because all her friends, all 5 of them would be just great until this one little girl would come.
My daughter's going through the same thing.
And she would just call the rest of them on the phone. And I would hear them in the room. On the phone, back and forth, back and forth. Well, you said da, da, da. And I was like, we don't do that back and forth stuff over here. Like, don't get involved with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And so finally, in senior year, she washed her hands up. I was like, thank you.
Wow.
Because that girl caused havoc.
So you?
So you know what? I think, boys and girls are different, they say. And I agree on that friendship level. My son and my daughter are like night and day, though. And so my son, he was very selective with his friends. Okay. He didn't have that many of them. And I loved them all. But he was very selective with his friendships. And he didn't have any dramas in his friendships.
And right now, good.
He's good. My little baby girl.
You selecting all her friends, so it don't really matter.
No, she at school. They got their own friends at school. And she always got a little something. Somebody got on her, something already. These kids already. Oh my God. But, she gonna be the firecracker. She the one. And I'm already talking to her about friendships and who is a good friend and who isn't. Because even though she's 6, the same things that we go through as adults or teenagers, they go through at that age. Everyone is not your friend, even if they faking to be your friend. Everyone is not happy for you. So you come in with something new and it just accidentally get broke.
Ooh.
Sometimes that's not an accident. Sometimes they mad because they don't have a new toy. And you see, and more so at that age when they don't know how to control their emotions.
Yeah.
Kids don't know how to control their emotions. Or that, so we're having friendship talks now at this age, but I think the important thing, and like you said with your daughter, is being involved, picking up on it, and having those conversations early, teaching them to be strong in themselves and confident in themselves and not change. Yeah. One of the things that gets me with friendships or when I decide not to be someone's friend, because I am very open. I don't like to assimilate. I don't like groups where I need to assimilate. Yeah. If you attracted to me as me, then I shouldn't have to assimilate to you. Yeah. So if you value this or you want this and I don't want that for me, then it's fine. We could be different. Right. But I think with young girls, it's so hard for them.
They want to be the same.
Yeah. Or they, this is what's the popular thing, even if it's not trending. Comfortable for you. And you just have to teach your girls young to do what's comfortable to you, not what other people think you should do.
I'm going to put y'all on the platform. I love it. Well, I know we got to wrap up because it's getting late. We have wind down.
Yes, we did.
But I really appreciate you all for coming and sharing your stories and your knowledge and providing me with a little bit of advice for my own situations. I really, really, truly appreciate it.
I enjoyed this.
Yes. So we're going to do another round table with some more folks and kind of see where they are.
I used to do a round table too.
See? So I'm going to invite you ladies back in a few more, maybe a month. Okay. And see if you guys can come back and we could do this one more time.
Absolutely.
Thank you all.
Yay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.